Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum students. Today's topic is development of limbs. Let's start. At the end of fourth week, limb buds become visible as outpocketings from the ventrolateral body wall. See here, ventrolateral, and see here, this is the ventrolateral body wall. These are the limb buds which are coming out to develop into the forelimb as well as hind limb at the ventrolateral body wall. इस डायग्राम में आप देख सकते हैं कि हमने वेंट्रो मीन एंटीरियर, लेटरल मीन लेटरल साइड पे, तो ये वेंट्रोलेटरल बॉडी वॉल के ऊपर ये एक लिम्ब बर्ड है और एक लिम्ब है, इसका पेयर उसके दूसरी तरफ होगा. तो this one is the forelimb and this one is the hind limb. So forelimb develops earlier, which is about 1 to 2 days before the hind limb. Initially, this limb bud is composed of or consists of a mesenchymal core. This is a mesenchymal core derived from the parietal layer of lateral plate mesoderm that will eventually form the bones, connective tissue of the limbs, and these will be covered by a layer of cuboidal ectoderm. So in this we have mesenchymal core. This mesenchymal core is derived from the parietal layer of lateral plate mesoderm. And this lateral plate mesoderm will give rise to the bones, connective tissue of the limbs, and it will be covered by initially by the cuboidal layer of ectoderm. Ectoderm and superficially is covered by the cuboidal layer, and this ectoderm, and this cuboidal layer is made up of the ectoderm. This ectoderm at the distal border of limb thickens and forms the apical ectodermal ridge, AER. At the distal border, it forms the apical ectodermal ridge. सबसे पहले हमने ये कहा कि हमारे ये जो मेसेनकाइम आ रही है वो लेटरल प्लेट मेसोडर्म की parietal लेयर से आ रही है. फिर हमने कहा कि इससे हम कनेक्टिव टिश्यू बनाएंगे, बोन का मसल्स बनाएंगे और सुपरफिशियल लेयर ऑफ cuboidal लेयर ऑफ ectoderm भी होगी सुपरफिशियली कवर्ड. अब इस cuboidal लेयर के जो एज पे है, लिम्ब के एज के ऊपर cuboidal लेयर है, that will be thickened. ये थिक होके एपिकल ectodermal ridge बना देगी. Now what is the role of the apical ectodermal ridge? This ridge exerts an inductive influence on adjacent mesenchyme, causing it to remain as a population of undifferentiated, rapidly proliferating cells, the undifferentiated zone. अब जहाँ पे ये exert करेगा stimulus कि ये undifferentiated, rapidly proliferating cells का zone रहे, ताकि हम लिम्ब की डेवलपमेंट कर सकें. हमारे पास कोई तो प्रोलिफरेटिंग सेल्स होने चाहिए ना, ताकि फिर ही हम डेवलपमेंट करेंगे. तो ये एपिकल ectodermal ridge का इंडक्टिव इन्फ्लुएंस है कि ये रैपिडली प्रोलिफरेटिंग सेल्स का जोन यहाँ पे रहेगा. अंडरस्टैंड? एंड with the passage of time, the limb grows and cells further from the influence of the apical ectodermal ridge begins to differentiate into cartilage and muscle. ये जो सेल्स होंगे जो कि अनडिफरेंशिएटेड जोन बना रहे हैं, ये किस किस में डिफरेंशिएट होते जाएंगे? बोन्स फ्रॉम कार्टिलेज एंड मसल्स. ठीक है, एंडोकार्डियल ऑसिफिकेशन होती है ना, तो कार्टिलेज और मसल बनाते जाएंगे और डेवलपमेंट होती जाएगी. In this manner, development of each limb proceeds proximo-distally into its three components: stylopod and zygopod and arthropod. So here you can see mesenchyme, which is derived from the parietal layer of lateral plate mesoderm, and it will develop eventually into bones and connective tissue of the limbs. Bones and connective tissue of the limbs are covered by covidal layer of the lateral covidal layer of the ectoderm, which I have already explained on the diagram. What is the role of the apical ectodermal ridge? It is present at the distal border of the limb, and it has the inductive influence to maintain the undifferentiated cells in its zone, and these cells begin to differentiate into cartilage and muscles, and development proceeds proximo-distally. That is, proximal end is towards the shoulder side and distal end is towards the hand side in the upper limb, and same case is in the lower limb, that proximal is towards the hip joint and distal is towards the foot end. And now see, we have three zones: stylopod, zygopod and arthropod. Stylopod consists of humerus and femur, zygopod radius and ulna in upper limb, tibia and fibula in lower limb, and arthropod is the carpals, metacarpals, digits are tarsals, digits are metatarsals. ये आप देख लें कि ये कार्पल्स और मेटाकार्पल्स जो होंगी जाहिर है ये अपर लिम्ब में आएंगी, तो ये साइड बाय साइड आपको अपर लिम्ब और लोअर लिम्ब की डेवलपमेंट बताई जा रही है. In the 6th week of the embryo, terminal portion of the limb buds become flattened to form the hand and foot plates. So these hand and foot plates are formed by the terminal portions of the limb bud, and these terminal portions become flattened to form hand and foot plates. These hand and foot plates are separated from the proximal part or segment of the limbs by a circular constrictions. After some time, a second constriction divides the proximal portion into two segments. First, there will be the constriction and there will be the two parts, that is proximal part of the limb and hand and foot plates are formed. Then there is another constriction in the proximal part and there will be the formation of the arm and forearm, or in case of the lower limb, thigh and leg. We have appreciated hand and foot plates. Now there is then programmed cell death to form the fingers and toes in the upper and lower limb respectively. With the programmed cell death, there will be the formation of the fingers, and further formation of the digits depends on their continued outgrowth under the influence of the 5 segments of ridge ectoderm, that is condensation of the mesenchyme to form cartilaginous digital rays and death of intervenous tissue between the रेस। जब ये प्रोग्राम सेल डेथ होती है तो ये तो हैंड एंड फुट प्लेट्स में फिंगर्स और टोज बन जाती हैं। अब इनकी फर्दर डेवलपमेंट भी होनी है ना, बीच में बोन्स बननी है, फ्लेंजेस बननी है। तो फर्दर ग्रोथ क्या होनी है, कंडेंसेशन ऑफ मेसेनकाइम होनी है अंडर दी वही इन्फ्लुएंस ऑफ दी थिक एंड रिच एक्टोडर्म। अब जब ये रिच एक्टोडर्म इसको इंड्यूस करता है तो क्या होता है कि कार्टिलेजिनस डिजिटल रेस बनती हैं और डेथ ऑफ इंटरवीनिंग टिश्यू बिटवीन द रेस उसको उसकी ग्रोथ कराता है और वो बनती है। ये देखें कि यहाँ पे प्रोग्राम सेल डेथ हो रही है। जब ये सेल डेथ हो जाती है तो ये थिकन एक्टोडर्मल रिजेस हैं। अब यहाँ पे ये जो थिक एक्टोडर्मल रिच है ये इन्फ्लुएंस करेगा और कार्टिलेजिनस टिश्यू भी बनाएगा और मसल डेवलपमेंट भी करेगा। ठीक है, और ये फिर उससे कार्टिलेजिनस एंडोल ऑसिफिकेशन होगी और बोन्स बनेगी और सुपरफिशियली मसल्स और स्किन बनेंगे। ठीक है, अपर लिम्ब एंड लोअर लिम्ब डेवलपमेंट 1 to 2 डेज के डिफरेंस से हो रही होती है। अपर लिम्ब starts developing first and it is about 1 to 2 days prior to lower limb development. There is one more difference between the upper limb and lower limb development, that the rotation is laterally in the 7th week of development in the upper limb and lower limb rotates medially 90-degree in the 7th week. When upper limb rotates in 7th week 90-degree laterally, the extensors come to lie laterally and posteriorly and thumb is in the lateral position. When lower limb rotates 90-degree medially, extensors come to lie anteriorly and big toe is present medially. As you already know that according to the anatomical position, upper limb has thumb on its lateral side and in the lower limb we have the big toe on its medial side. Here in this diagram you can see the development of the lower limb, and this is the rays, digital rays, and now come to the further development, that while the external shape is being established, mesenchyme in the buds begin to condense and then these cells differentiate into chondrocytes. By the 6th week of development, this cartilage model is formed by these chondrocytes, and this will be the foreshadowing the bones of the extremities, and it shows that these bones are formed by the endochondral ossification, that first cartilage model is formed and then bones are formed from this model. When these bones are going to form, meanwhile there will be also the joint formation. At the area where we want to form the joints are formed in the cartilaginous condensation when chondrogenesis is arrested and joint interzone is induced. ऐसा है कि जहां पे आपका जॉइंट बनना है वहां पे कॉन्ड्रोजेनेसिस यानी कार्टिलेजिनस मॉडल बनने से उसको रोका जाएगा। कॉन्ड्रोजेनेसिस इज अरेस्टेड और एक जोन बन जाएगा दैट इज कॉल्ड इंटरजोन। अब जब इसमें कॉन्ड्रोजेनेसिस को हमने अरेस्ट कर लिया है तो अब इसमें क्या होगा, डेंस फाइब्रस टिश्यू इज फॉर्म एंड cells in this region increase in number and density and then a joint cavity is formed by cell death। फिर वही कि पहले एक डेंस फाइब्रस टिश्यू बन गया, फिर उसमें सेल डेथ हुई और जॉइंट कैविटी हुई। अब जो जॉइंट कैविटी के गिर्द सराउंडिंग सेल्स आर प्रेजेंट, दे विल फॉर्म द जॉइंट कैप्सूल। Then there will be the ossification. We have there is the production of the cartilaginous model. Then there will be the primary ossification and secondary ossification. Primary ossification centers are present in all long bones of the limbs by the 12th week of development. From the primary centers in the shaft or diaphysis of the bones, endochondral ossification gradually progresses towards the end of the cartilaginous model। मतलब सब shafts में primary centers present होते हैं 12th week में, और endochondral ossification that is bone replacement हो रही होती है cartilage की जगह पे, तो it is within the shaft of the bone। At birth, the diaphysis of the bone is usually completely ossified, but the two ends, the epiphyses, are still cartilaginous. Shortly thereafter, however, ossification centers arise in the epiphysis। Temporarily, a cartilage plate remains between the diaphyseal and epiphyseal ossification centers। जो एंड्स के ऊपर ओसिफिकेशन सेंटर होते हैं उनके दरमियान में एक टेम्पररी एपिफिजियल प्लेट होती है। दिस प्लेट plays an important role in growth in the length of the bone। Endochondral ossification proceeds on both sides of the plate। इस प्लेट के दोनों तरफ endochondral ossification हो रही होती है for the length of the bone। When the bone has acquired its full length, the epiphyseal plate disappears and epiphysis unites with the shaft of the bone in the adulthood। एपिफिजियल प्लेट जो है ना उसके दोनों तरफ ग्रोथ हो रही है। जब एपिफिजियल प्लेट फ्यूज हो जाएगी तो ग्रोथ खत्म हो जाएगी और ये एडल्टहुड में। अब in long bones an epiphyseal plate is present on each extremity, that is it is present on both ends, but in short bones or smaller bones such as the phalanges it is found only at one extremity, and in irregular bones such as the vertebra one or more primary centers of ossification and usually several secondary centers are present। Clear? When we want to form the synovial joints, there will be the arrest of the chondrogenesis, so the interzone is produced। There will be then condensed mesenchyme which will form the dense fibrous tissue and cartilage model is formed। And these cells so if we consider about the knee joint, then these cells will form the articular cartilage, synovial membrane, menisci and ligaments of the joint, and these cells also form the joint capsule. This is the formation of these synovial joints with one example. And in fibrous joints, you can say sutures, there will be the formation of the interzone. But in these, cells will remain as a dense fibrous tissue. Now coming to the development of the limb musculature, there are the from where they are going to derive, as these are going to derive from the somites, dorsolateral cells of the somites, and these are from the abaxial domain, that they are going to cross the lateral somatic frontier to enter into the parietal layer of the lateral plate mesoderm, and where they will form the muscles, and these muscles then form the compartment, that flexor and extensor compartments. तो यहाँ ये समझाना चाह रहे हैं कि डार्सोलेटरल सेल्स ऑफ सोमाइट्स से ये लिम्ब मस्कुलेचर बनता है, और ये अपने अपने सेगमेंट से ही डिराइव होते हैं, इसलिए इनकी नर्व सप्लाई भी उसी सेगमेंट से आ रही होती है. अपर लिम्ब जो होती है लोअर 5 से डिराइव होता है, और दीज आर C5 to T2, लोअर 5 सर्वाइकल एंड अपर 2 थोरेसिक से डेवलप होता है. और लोअर लिम्ब जो होता है वो लोअर 4 लंबर और अपर 2 सैक्रल सेगमेंट से डेराइव होता है, और उसकी जो है L2 to S2 है. फर्दर जब इनकी डेवलपमेंट होती है, पहले तो ये उसी से जिस सेगमेंट से आए होते हैं उसी के साथ रिलेटेड होते हैं. But with the elongation of the limbers, the muscle tissue first split into flexor and extensor compartments, and then additional splitting and fusion occurs such that a single muscle may be formed from more than one original segments. The resulting complex pattern of muscle is determined by connective tissue derived from the lateral plate mesoderm. Now coming to the nerve supply, these are supplied by the ventral primary rami. As soon as the buds form, ventral primary rami from the appropriate spinal nerves penetrate into the mesenchyme. At first, each ventral ramus enters with the dorsal and ventral branches derived from a specific spinal segment, but soon branches in their respective region begin to unite to form large dorsal and ventral nerves. Thus, the radial nerve which supplies the extensor musculature is formed by combination of the dorsal segmental branches, whereas the ulnar and median nerve which supply the flexor musculature are formed by a combination of the ventral branches. Immediately after the nerves have entered the limb buds, they establish an intimate contact with the differentiating mesodermal condensation, and early contact between the nerve and muscle cell is a prerequisite for their complete functional differentiation. So इससे पता चलता है कि वेंट्रल प्राइमरी रमाई गई, वो अपने अपने सेगमेंट्स में गई, और फिर उसके बाद उन्होंने डिवीजन दी, वेंट्रल और डॉर्सल डिवीजन दी. जो डॉर्सल डिवीजन से उन्होंने रेडियल नर्व बना दी, अपर लिम्ब में बता रहे हैं, और जो वेंट्रल थी उन्होंने अल्नर नर्व और मीडियन नर्व बना दी. Spinal nerves not only play an important role in differentiation and motor innervation of the limb musculature, but also provide sensory innervation for the dermatome. Although the original dermatomal pattern changes with growth and rotation of the extremities, an orderly sequence can still be recognized in the adults. आप डर्मेटोम में देख सकते हैं कि जो सेगमेंट उसको सप्लाई करता है वही सप्लाई करता है. ठीक है. So it's all about the लिम्फ डेवलपमेंट। होपफुली आपको इसकी समझ आ जाएगी। अल्लाह हाफिज़।